But the whole fun and the whole fascination of it is to develop freedom within small boundaries. That is the interesting thing. When I prepare for a piece of music, I want to find out what it means to me. Because that's actually the only thing I can do. I can look at the music, listen to the music, read the music, and be very open and sensitive to find out where is the resonance of that piece, of that content in myself. And what does it do to me? How does it affect me? This is the process of learning, studying music, to find out what it means to you. Because that will be the basis of what I can potentially, in my interpretation, tell to someone else. I cannot tell about the music, because there's no truth in it. There's no right or wrong with this and that, or blue or green. I don't know about any of that. I can only try to find out what it means to me, and then admit to an audience, to whoever is interested, to admit what it means to me. And that is my job. My job is, I'm a professional admitter. I admit my humanity. I sing texts, always. I wouldn't be a singer if singing would be a vocalese thing. If there was no text involved, I wouldn't do it. I have, through my understanding of text and the combination with music, through the sounding word, das klingende Wort, I have very clearly made my way to understanding music as a content-based language on its own, without text. So I understand and I speak music without text. But for me, the reason to sing is because there is text. And as there is text, I take it incredibly serious. And if I have absolute free choice, I only sing things that have texts that mean a lot to me. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so very fond of the German Lied repertoire, because we're incredibly lucky in our language to have incredible poetry from centuries, from the finest poets of centuries, set in genius music by the finest composers. It's an incredible gift. There's a quite interesting aspect of the discipline of singing, and particularly of classical singing, because it is, to start with, artificial. Nobody walks in the streets and breathes deeply, then he flexes his diaphragm to support properly, and then makes all the resonances in his head and produces a technically complete, classically informed tone to being able to transport a word through a hall for 2,000 people. This is not natural. It's totally artificial. And the fact that it is artificial actually is an advantage. I'm never in the problem of in a performance. I have never a problem with the pretension of it was real. Like you go to theater and then you have a Shakespeare play, and then it's like Romeo whispers to Julia, and they have to whisper on 85 decibel because they have to get the whole book to have the understanding what they're whispering. There's a whole problem in the pretension of realism. The artificiality of singing doesn't have that. It's not that. It is not the pure natural communication form of speaking. as using the text. It's already a different thing. And within the boundaries and within the so-called rules, or whatever you call it, of classical singing, it appears to be, in the first place, a quite limited space that you have, as it's altogether always in classical music. We have a perfectly written time code with the values of the notes, and then we have pitch, and then we have this, and it all has to come together incredibly accurately to be pulled off. But the whole fun and the whole fascination of it is to develop freedom within small boundaries. That is the interesting thing. That is the subjectively incredibly interesting thing, because the felt freedom is always in proportion to the space you're given. We are given a somehow tiny space, and we develop incredible freedom within it. That is what I'm trying to do, and that is what makes it so incredibly fascinating and interesting. And the process is quite interesting. The process wants to be that I don't want to be touched by the music I'm making. I can't be. That would be utter bullshit. I'm touched by the material. I'm touched by the text and by the composition that I know, that I feel. That gives me an emotion. That is what moves me. And I express my being moved and my emotion. I'm not touched by the music I'm making. I'm touched before making it. I'm making music because I am touched. And then I make music. Because I'm imagining and knowing and understanding the next word I'm going to say. And it says so much to me. And the melody and the harmony, whatever it is. But I cannot be touched by the music I'm making. The job of the audience in the process of music making is to take it away. They receive it. I don't have to listen to myself because they do it. I am allowed to be in the very moment and ask myself, what does that mean to me right now? Because what I've just sang or said or whatever I've done is for them to take it away from me. That is why I need an audience. And this is the quality of the relation, that they have a job to do. The audience has a very, very important task. Take it. It's very important. To me, it's very important. Secondary literature to a musical piece that I'm studying or that I'm preparing to perform or that I perform is not my friend. Because I've learned for myself that I cannot control it. The state of my consciousness that I'm looking for in a performance is not control, it's giving up control. I want to give away control, to let something happen. If you do that to your brain, or if you do it to yourself, my brain starts to produce information that I have to compute. And that's horrible for me. That I don't have a plan when I go on stage and sing Schubert. I don't have a plan. I don't know how it will be. And I don't want to know it. So if I'm opening up and saying, come on, let's see what it does to me today, and admit it to the audience. And then come informations about Schubert's life and this and that and dates and what he had for dinner and blah 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 and all this kind of stuff. It distracts me. I cannot deal with it. I cannot handle it. For my particular way, and I think it's a very particular attitude. A lot of my colleagues look for control. They look for a way, a path. They have rehearsed to be in control, to do specifically something which they have decided they want to do. I totally don't want that. So for me, I cannot control when secondary information will be reproduced in my brain. I can't control it, and therefore it has always been a big problem for me. everything which distracts me from being in the moment in the performance is not good for what I want to do. Therefore, not so much information is often better handleable for me.
Okay. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Anything you want to add?
Have a good day.